Episode what, Jared? And welcome us in. I don't think you've done a welcome before.
Welcome to Europe. We're here in Greece. We've done a lot of things recently, such as climbing mountains, drinking coffee, eating bagels, driving, and now we're about to drink a hell.
My hell is the summer cool strawberry rhubarb.
Mine is red currant grapefruit.
Oh, mine?
Strong watermelon.
Yeah, mine is an ice cold ginger lemon.
Mine's got lots of smiley faces, heart faces, crying faces, faces of...
A lot of emojis. I bought that one specifically for Pest.
I have an aqua one.
You ready?
Yeah.
Together. 3, 2, 1.
Woo! Hell, brother. Crack into a hell, brother.
I really don't want to do this.
All right. Interesting question to start us off. I'd like to get everyone's answers, and then I'm going to lay out some kind of arguments. Do we have free will?
My God.
What does that even mean?
Do you have free will to do whatever you want?
It's because God created us with free will.
Okay, so Michael's answer is yes. Decky, I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Free will?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul?
Sure.
Okay, so let's imagine this. We're playing pool, right? We've got a pool table. Mm-hmm. You take a pool shot, you break the balls. They go into random spots, right? Now, let's assume that you knew the exact speed, the exact angle, the exact friction, the air resistance, every variable of that table. Could you recreate that exact shot and make the balls go in the exact position?
With a robot, yes.
Yes, right? So now let's imagine that pool table on a much larger scale. Now it's not a pool table, it's the universe. Mm-hmm. And the pool balls are not pool balls, they're every molecule that makes up the entire universe. Mm-hmm. And that initial break shot is not a pool player, it's the Big Bang that scatters all the atoms. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you're wrong. The world is 6,000 years old and was created by God in 7 days. Within the 7th day, he rested.
Just let him fucking finish. Mm-hmm. You remember how someone was making comments about you interrupting people? This is it right now, Michael.
I just don't agree with his Big Bang theory.
I don't think Pest should have hell anymore.
So,
I'm interested in what he's going to say.
In theory, all of the molecules in your brain, the dopamine bouncing around, the neurotransmitters, these are all molecules that are reacting from the initial Big Bang thing. So, do we have agency over our decisions, or are we simply just the reaction of the initial molecules that happened?
No.
If I want to eat a sandwich, I eat a sandwich.
Yeah, but do you actually want to eat a sandwich, or do you have primal instincts that are programmed into you, and you don't have a choice if you're eating a sandwich? You think you do, but if you say, no, I'm not going to eat this sandwich, this is already predetermined because something in your body in the initial Big Bang said, oh, he's going to think he wants to eat a sandwich. He's going to say no. But in reality, he never would have eaten the sandwich anyways.
I understand it, and I disagree.
It's just a thought experiment. I'm not saying anyone's right or anyone's wrong, except for Michael, who thinks the world's 6,000 years old.
Yes. No, I do not believe the world is 6,000 years old, but it was how I was raised. So that's fun. Actually, how 3 of us were very much raised.
Yes.
Now, we are in Europe. Do we need to discuss what we've been doing?
I can feel my heartbeat really hard.
You didn't finish it.
No.
You didn't finish it?
I've drank 2 coffees already.
I like how we had to, so we decided that we were going to do this hell thing and drink hell, which is some Eastern European energy drink. I had never seen it before. I mean, we had seen it when we were here. And so I bought one for Pest this morning, and then we were like, let's all have one. We never discussed about all chugging it, but I'm glad that we did.
Oh,
that was actually great. Yeah. No, yeah. It wasn't pre-discussed before the pod.
Well, Ricky kind of stops you from chugging things.
You're drinking for 2 and you still can't do it.
Except for last night. This is a great podcast.
I need some more coffee.
Last time we spoke, we were about to do the 3-peak challenge that we'd created ourselves.
That thing.
And we did pretty good.
Did we?
66%.
Not even. 40%.
What do you mean?
Explain.
Oh, no, yeah, we did do the last mountain.
We got 2 out of 3.
No, but it was a day later, yeah. It's 4 days.
You can blame me.
It's not your fault, Pest.
Blame the weather.
Yeah.
I predict the weather.
And the weather was really good the day we did climb Karabi.
Well, okay, we could have done it the day before, but the weather was going to be better the day we did it, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah, I'm glad we did as well. It's really hot.
So,
what are we going to discuss on today's podcast? Do we want to recover everything?
I don't know. I feel like we've spoken about it so much lately.
So a trolley is heading towards a group of 5 people.
Fucking God.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the track is Polly that wants to be a doctor. She's a girl, child, a girl child.
And there's a third thing.
Okay, they don't-
You do nothing and the Holocaust happens.
Okay, let's give a brief recap of where we're at. We don't need to go into the detail. They'll get all that. So yeah, basically, when was the last time we did a podcast?
It was just before we did the 3 peaks.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's on our day off.
Very unhappy.
So today's not our day off. I'm really
Serbia
happy
was
to be
great.
here.
The mountain was great in Serbia. Midzor. Climbing Midzor was great.
It was great.
It was very refreshing.
So Midzor was the very first of the 3 peaks that we were going to try. We were going to try and do Serbia, which is Midzor, Montenegro, which is Zakalata, and then Albania. We were going back to do Krabi, which is the first mountain. We failed. We did Midzor. It was great. Pounded that out day 1 of the 3-day challenge that we had planned. I psyched myself out. I was horrified over like the slightest incline. Luckily, Jared let me hold on to a stick. We made it through. I kept coming back down. I was jumping all over that mountain. It was great, but it was weird how I did psych myself out with it.
No, it was quite icy at the start. The sun hit it and loosened it up.
That is true, yeah.
Because I even felt like, oh, this could be a little bit sketchy. Like, for example, dropping my phone or anyway. But yeah, so Midzor was a fun little mountain. It wasn't really too difficult. Zakalata, though, with a fucking...
It's quite the climb.
I keep going to say earthquake. Avalanche. With the Avalanche. Probably one of the freakiest things I've had happen to me of late.
Yeah. You're in a super quiet, like calm area.
So calm.
And you just hear these big loud cracks and whooshes and yeah.
The only thing that really freaked me out was we were in a cloud. So it was like I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if the avalanche is going to hit me, it's going to hit me. And make it worse, I was literally reading back when we were in Romania about a guy from Australia who went to climb the highest peak of Romania. Or it might have been America, sorry. Yeah. He went to climb the highest peak of Romania and he got hit by 2 avalanches. And he said he heard a big crack, silence, and then a whoosh. And I was like, well, there was the big crack and it was a silence. And I was like, okay, where's the whoosh?
Yeah, it's coming.
And that's kind of like freaked me out a bit.
No, it was quite daunting, especially when, even before the avalanche, just just trying to get through. Like we weren't moving fast at all.
God, that was horrible.
It was like 500 meters in like an hour. It was very, very slow.
Next time I'm going to help. I'll be fit enough to help.
To help what?
Navigate.
Okay.
We'll get through that path faster.
Next time it'll be summer and we're doing Zakalata in winter again. All right.
We'll come back. We're going to do Maglich. We're going to do Bobatev Cook and we're going to do Zakalata all in winter. Fuck those people that said we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Fuck them all.
Fuck Martin.
Yeah. Imagine going up Bobatev Cook without in winter. Ice picks.
If we get that tour guide to give us a ride to the base of the mountain, we could do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. This is all coming from Pest, the guy that said we were going to smash the 3-day challenge and then he didn't want to do it in 3 days.
Well, I'm glad we didn't. We would have been fucking miserable in Karabi. We would have camped we would have been soaking wet, climbed halfway up Karabi soaking wet, climbed the whole day soaking wet, exhausted. Instead, we got to spend a night in the smoke ceremony.
Did you get a smoke ceremony?
The smoke ceremony was great.
And we had a delicious meal at Montenegro.
You had the burger times 2 in Montenegro and that wouldn't have happened.
That is true. I'm so grateful we didn't.
Everything happens for a reason.
I had a really delicious smoothie bowl.
Smoothie bowl.
I'm really not mad about not doing the 3-day challenge. I would have been if we had completed Zakalata and then we took a day off. I would have been furious.
Yeah, we wouldn't have done that though.
Yeah. But the fact that we had already like kind of lost it when we weren't able to complete it was fine.
But no, and then we finally defeated our villain.
Yeah.
Karabi.
So originally the first mountain we climbed was Krabi in Albania, and we didn't finish it because of our own mistakes. We could blame the Austrian, but we listened to him. We went off course.
What are the 2 things that we did wrong when we climbed it the first time? We listened to someone else and we went the wrong direction.
We did both those things on the second time too, but it worked out. Yeah. So
who did we listen to? Oh, the guy that told me.
Yeah. But yeah, so like that was our major defeat, and it really like set us back and like kind of like
I think it mentally psyched us a little bit.
Definitely, yeah. And because this is our very first mountain, we got prepared for it. We were all gung-ho, ready to go. And then we just got, it wasn't like it was too difficult. It wasn't that. It was just like we wasted time, wasted energy, and we ran out of daylight. So we had to turn back.
We started a little bit later than we should have.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we started 2 hours earlier that day.
On Karabi.
Yeah, on the very first attempt.
Oh, the first time. Yeah.
The only reason we started later than we did was I was worried that the road might be frozen
Yeah.
because it was like it was under 0 degrees in Redamy.
I remember it being the first time we did it though, so much colder, far out.
Yeah, it was freezing that first time.
Also, none of us had gloves that first time.
The second time, though, I only used one of them.
Yeah, it was hot. I don't think I used gloves the whole time, actually.
No, I didn't use gloves at all.
Yeah, but you were pretty cooked.
Yeah, that one, the second time of Krabi, that was the hardest mountain for me. Just that's
Because you led the whole way. The first time I was helping,
yeah.
because my knee was playing up, I didn't want to risk being the one trudging in front.
I was bringing up the trail, make sure everybody was.
This is a good job.
Thank you. I respect that role. It's my role.
Michael made sure we didn't lose anything.
That's right.
Yep.
Now I did lose a screw.
Bringing up the rear.
Yeah. I lost my phone.
You did, but I found that one.
Yeah, we had a great time coming down the mountain. We were frolicking, skipping,
Honestly.
rolling.
So much fun.
It was throwing snowballs. Even though I was exhausted, slightly miserable, I was having fun.
You were.
I've always wanted to just lay down like a log and see how far I could roll down a mountain. And I didn't even take off the backpack. I just gave my walking sticks to Michael, and then I just laid down like a log and rolled.
Which we probably should have taken off the backpack because after you started walking afterwards, I'm like, why does the backpack look so weird? And I take the cover off of it in the live view and the battery have come out and they're just like hanging out. I'm like, shit! But no, that was I was just walking and I just watched Paul and he's just hilarious. Great.
You do get dizzy. In hindsight, just know that if you're going to do it, you're going to get dizzy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we're on a green screen right now. We can Photoshop a Greek background onto us and look like we're actually on the roof.
And Paul's having an epiphany. You know the scaffolding reel we did yesterday?
Yeah.
We were standing at the Pantheon and I
these ones on now.
you can turn them on if you want, but it just makes it more orange. One of my scaffolding friends is proud of my attempt to describe scaffold.
Wow.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
I'm starting to get a tan again, which is nice. Looking like my proper originality of the Europe.
He's Australian.
Coming from the Mexican.
No, it's like,
Oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah, we've been pretty covered up for about 30 days now.
I've been afraid of this.
Yeah.
My lip was so burnt on the first
You almost got a Ricky.
Yeah. Karabi hurt us a lot. It hurt you the most.
It hurt. Yeah.
But I think from then we were like sunscreen covering up was the way to go.
Yeah, just because like everything's white, so the sun reflects and you just get triple UV at your face.
Yeah. And then I think, well, for me, I feel like we're a lot more mentally drained at the moment just because we've probably stopped. This is the first time we've stopped. No, you're ready to go?
ready to fucking go, dude.
Dude, you're a machine.
Give them 3 hours till that hell work.
Because this is like the first couple of days where we haven't had something go, and it's kind of, you know.
I've pushed these guys to do a lot, I feel like. I think during this trip,
No.
Yes, we've
I was ambitious with how much I wanted to cram into it, and I think we did it.
taken like the minimal breaks to keep going, and
I took a large brunt of the driving, but my own fault. Like, I deliberately did that.
yeah.
We could have doubled what we did.
We could have doubled.
Doubled. Okay. Oh,
Well, so, excluding knee injuries and stuff, but
I only drove 7,000 kilometers in 26 days, but you know.
Jerry could have driven some overnight.
Yeah.
Okay, remember that time where we drove at night time and it was like,
falling asleep.
and he was complaining about how like, oh, this is the most painful my knee's ever been, and it was worse than being on any mountain I've ever been on.
Be a goddamn bitch.
All right, coming from the two guys napping in the back, we could double it. I could nap for twice this.
I never said double. I said triple. This has been one hell of a ride. We're kind of coming to the end of it. We're probably going to do one more podcast after this.
Yeah, we're gonna do one where we talk more about each individual country and rate stuff and that.
I'd love to touch on conspiracies, but we need a conspiracy expert.
And we're gonna get hammered for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I'm gonna make sure we have a few beers. So that's next week's episode.
I'm doing wine.
I thought we were done drinking.
No.
I'm going to have all the different flavors of hell.
How have you not learnt, Paul?
After that podcast where we drank, then we're done drinking.
Then we're done drinking.
Until next trip.
Until Germany.
Yeah. Favorite mountain for you guys?
Karabi.
I think it'll always be Karabi now.
First and second time.
Karabi, I'd say.
Agreed.
But Masala
Masala was great.
would have been a lot better if we didn't have to rush. Like if we got to the top of Masala and we said, all right, we've got an hour up here,
Yeah.
dude, that would have been so nice.
It was great up there.
Least favorite mountain?
Moldova. Actually, no, it was a bit of fun
I actually preferred Moldova. I think, I was going to say Hungary's probably my least favorite.
because it was foggy though.
And it was the most dangerous. But like, yeah, you got there. We even went up the top. It was all foggy and cold.
Least favorite, honestly, Dinara.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually, I really loved Dinara.
Maybe Denaro might have been my favorite.
Because it was the first challenge that we conquered as a team.
It was the first time all of us were like, holy fuck, this is insane.
That was the hardest mountain we did.
Yeah.
My knee was playing up the most, so I was in a lot of pain the entire way down. When we got to the top and we froze the door
As a collective.
as a collective. But like, it was just, we didn't even get a chance to like get proper photos, appreciate what we just did. It was just like, we're cold, we're miserable, let's get down.
I felt the same about Masala. Like, I felt like I had to rush that.
Yeah, but like, at least at the top, you got a chance to look.
Yeah,
You got a chance to like take a photo. Dinara, we got to the top of, this is highest peak Croatia, so you guys know. It was a fucking blizzard and a whiteout for the last half of the climb.
for majority of.
And so like, we literally couldn't see anything. We couldn't, all we did was we found this little fucking tin box and then we hid in that phone booth for like maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we got out to quick group photo and then we went back down.
I don't know.
That was horrible.
For me, it was the achievement of what we like overcoming that.
Because we all crammed in there and we were just like eating snacks, giggling, and we were so happy we finally got like a legit peak, you know? We were.
Like,
That one was like we were on an Arctic expedition, though.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on like Ernest Shackleton's crew, and I was like like my ship sank, and I was trapped in Antarctica because like I didn't have any face covering either. Like my face was frosted, so I was just like, it was awesome.
Yeah, when I saw that frost in your cheeks, I was like, oh, Decky's getting frostbite for sure.
that was just an incredible, like, during the time it was, for me, it was like, this is getting scary.
I never doubted us at all during that whole
There
time.
was one point where I did doubt us when they were like, this is something we walked up, and then Jared just like literally turned and went downhill really quickly, and I was like yelling at Decky, I'm like, why are we going back down? Is this not the summit? Why are we going back down? And it started getting worse. Oh,
That was another navigational challenge.
It was a challenge because it was, you had no landmarks to like
Yeah.
go it off.
yeah. Favorite, so we've had our favorite mountains, favorite place.
Oh, so we're doing that today, are we?
We may as well.
Well, no, we can do a proper S to F tier list, and I mean, we should get the graphic up and everything.
Okay.
We're just talking about favorites. We can
just
go. We
favorites.
can address all the others. Favorite cities: Sarajevo, and well, I said it yesterday. Where did I say? Or I said it to somebody.
You said it. I remember Sarajevo.
And there was another one.
What country was it?
I don't remember.
Please don't say Bran.
No,
No.
I don't know. Sarajevo was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bran. It reminded me of like a small, I actually like Borovitz better than Bran, but they both reminded me of small little ski towns in Canada.
Do the ski towns in Canada have lots of strip clubs as well?
They do.
There you go.
Michael's never been to a strip club and we're going to change that
Yeah.
Yep.
in Thailand.
Me and Decky are gonna.
Yay, turtles.
They won't get the reference.
No, but we will.
Me and Decky will stand outside and make sure Michael doesn't leave.
That is correct. Tanya, I will be standing outside.
You guys will be coming in. I'll bring Tanya too. I don't give a fuck.
All right. You flick Tanya out to Thailand. We can go to a strip club.
It's not a strip club. It's a ping pong show. It's different.
Yes.
It really is different. Like, if anyone gets erect over a turtle coming out of vagina,
You don't know what turtles do to me.
Well, does that mean you're sex shaming someone for their kinks?
I think bestiality is actually an illegal.
I'm surprised that turtles coming out of vagina is a thing and it's not illegal, but
But is that bestiality if you're not fucking it?
She's fucking it.
or she's engulfing it.
Mr. Hands.
And who the fuck would get off on a chick putting 2 cigarettes in a wahoo and then lighting them on and then puffing them?
That's pretty impressive if you can actually puff.
She does.
And where does the smoke come out?
The vagina.
The cigarette bit.
I thought she could breathe out the smoke. That would be a real trick.
Oh my God.
But she probably does. I don't know. I fucking don't know.
Well, we've gotten to this topic. It didn't take long.
Wow.
So anyway, that's Decky's favourite place. And Jared's. Mine would be Sarajevo.
Really?
And we all know Paul's.
Wait, what's my favorite place? I said Sarajevo's my favorite.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but my favorite country is Montenegro, but I don't know if that's my favorite place.
What was your favourite place?
I'll come back to it. You guys talk and I'll think about it.
I liked Radomir. It did seem very peaceful and kind of like just a nice little hang.
Yeah, but you'd never want to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the atmosphere though of us in the bar playing chess and hanging out with the locals, I felt that was the first time we'd probably spent a full amount of time with the actual community of locals.
I would say if my community of people that I normally hang out with lived in Radomir and we all did that same thing, I would enjoy that. But yeah, if I was going there and I was the only person that spoke English and we were all just smoking cigarettes together, maybe I wouldn't like it that much.
I don't know.
You don't know what your favourite place was? No. It's first coming into Sarajevo and just seeing the city. I've never seen a city like that before. Very cool.
I'd probably agree with that. It was very cool. Yeah. It was a bit like, is it gobsmacked? You get big gobsmacked when you first drive in. You're like, whoa, what is this?
And then the roads going down. But like just for me, I didn't have to focus on the roads.
Actually, yeah, I would agree. Sarajevo would probably be the most enjoyable city to visit, like including like seeing the Winter Olympics, like bobsledding.
Yeah, that was cool. And the observation as well.
Oh yeah, walking down that bobsled thing was really cool.
Dude, I want to get a skateboard and go down that.
That would be awesome.
It's such a Tony Hawk's level, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Oh, very cool.
In it, bruv.
In it, why are we talking like that?
Every time I say in it on stream, they're like,
In it, bruv.
you're like, are you meant to be British?
You're from London.
You want to stab someone?
Yeah. But what have we got planned for today?
I don't care about today.
Oh, so okay. All right. Favourite food?
It really is hard to narrow it down. I've become somewhat of a soup guy as of recently. I think this combination of the soups plus the great bread they have here.
And the fact you can't eat any solid food.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've had some really good soups.
Have we explained Ricky properly?
We've explained it so many times, but I don't know where or when we've explained it.
Can you give us a rundown of what Ricky is?
So on the very first mountain, the first time we climbed Karabi, we got very sunburned, especially Jared and I. Like my face ended up turning into a shrunken head a couple of days later and it was like cracking and it was horrible. I was in a tremendous pain, but luckily
I looked like a red Buddha.
Jared, on the other hand, mine like cracked and shrunk. Jared swelled. And he did recover from that. In one of the earlier podcasts, you can see him when he's all like red. But he had a massive sunburn on his lips. And that led to a massive like crack / like gash on it. Or cold sore. And that was kind of a thing. And he'd been dealing with that. And it had been healing for like 2-3 weeks. And it was just getting better when we went to Musala. And Musala was another sunburn climb. And he got reburned basically, and it created this beast that he referred to as Ricky one time, and we referred to it ever since. It's this like basically like The Walking, or not The Walking Dead, The Last of Us. Yeah. He looks like one of those creatures, except it's coming out of his lip. It's this growth fungus. Ugh. But his lip is just destroyed.
Yeah,
it's cracking everywhere and stripped apart.
And I think you called it a symbiote, which means basically it takes over the host. Mm-hmm, yeah. And we are quite worried whether we are talking to Jared or Ricky at the moment, but we think we're talking to Jared, but every now and then I kind of see him like looking at things he can infect that I put my mouth on. And I'm like, what are you doing, Jared?
I've been secretly drinking from all your guys' water bottles.
He licked all our hell cans before we started.
Yeah. I was like breathing over Michael last night, giving him kisses while he was sleeping.
And you were nowhere near my mouth as well. That was weird.
You don't know where Ricky's gonna pop up next.
So yeah, that's the situation on that. But we think Ricky might be slightly getting better. In all reality, we should have taken Jared to the doctor like weeks ago and just gotten some antibiotics. Yeah,
but he did morning.
Listen, I don't believe in doctors.
He doesn't. I've been on his case the whole time and he keeps just saying, I'll be fine. And then I just weep. I'm like, but you're not.
I've been taking vitamin C.
You've been taking so much vitamin C. He got all the tablets when he had a Coke and he just started putting like 500 mil, 1,000 mil, 1,500 mil, 2,000 mil. Like he just put like 6 tablets in one Coke. It's not like a Fanta.
One of the things I wish we could have done on the trip was record more of the banter during the draw. Because
You would have been cancelled.
We would have.
I would not have been cancelled, thank you. But no, it's the best way to word it is it's like the banter you have when you're hanging out with your mates at school and you just got nothing else to do but talk shit.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that for such a long time.
Yeah.
Like outfield in the military, probably the only place I could think of. And even that was over 5 years ago now for me.
I bet you'll be driving with Christina and you'll drive past a dog and you'll just yell, dog!
We would just yell out whatever we saw. So if there was like a dog or a woman or a man, just like it doesn't matter what it was.
Castle.
Yeah, castle.
Castle. It was, but I wish we could have captured those moments. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy we didn't have a camera on, because sometimes when you feel like there's a camera on, you feel like you switched on a little bit in the back of your brain, and that's a little bit exhausting after a while. But you kind of wish that we could show you the fun.
The ridiculous stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Like without us putting it on, it was just literally happening all the time.
Yeah.
Like the amount of, I've laughed more in those drives than for years.
Yeah, and it's good, hearty laughing as well.
Very hardy.
So what I would recommend is get a couple of mates, go for a big road trip somewhere random and have a good laugh.
Yeah, do it. That's a neat.
Go to Eastern Europe, hire a car, do border crossings, you'll have some good time.
Speaking of a car, Pidgey's gone.
I'm so glad.
He is gone.
Are you glad, man? I feel emotional. Pidgey was our home. We were in her for a long time.
Yes, and I rode her hard.
You did. She's not a virgin anymore.
I feel bad for the
Suspension.
next person that uses her.
She's got baggage now.
So the roads, the roads of Eastern Europe, some are really good, and then others you just have a pothole pot.
Where were your favorite roads?
Let's do an S to F tier list of Paul's favourite roads.
Favorite roads. I think Croatia and Hungary had really, really, really good roads.
And Romania had the worst, wasn't it?
Romania was the
and
worst.
Serbia. Oh, it was just Serbia a place.
Had a lot of roadworks, but the outside of the roadworks, it was all right. But yeah, Romania was by far the worst. I know, riveting topic.
When you dropped off the car,
Yeah.
did the people did you guys get it cleaned at all? Or
No, straight dropped it off looking like shit.
Yeah.
The entire inside caked with like 3 inches of mud.
I had a look and I was like, they can't complain about this. Like it's just dirty, but it's not. There's no damages.
No, we hadn't we'd done a fairly good job of not trying to put stuff into.
I was making sure there was no stains. That was what I was more worried about. But I looked over all the seats and there was no like hard stains of like a chocolate or something.
Just a little bit of piss.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they just looked it over. They said, "Oh, do you have the inspection paperwork?" And I'm like, "Yes, somewhere." And then we handed that over, and he goes, "Yep, you're good to go." I was like, "Sweet." So I'm expecting, if it's true, and the international like countries don't send the fines across to Greece, I shouldn't get any speeding fines. If they do, however,
Because there's been a few times that you've been driving really fast and be like, "Oh, that was a cop."
This trip might get really expensive for Paul in the end, yeah.
but I would just follow the other cars.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so weird. Like
Find a pace car and go.
there was this one time, I ran on this shit, but like
time.
one of the times that stands out, I was doing like 130 in like a 60 zone with another car in front of me doing 130. And we went past a cop with a radar gun out. Both of us went past him. They didn't even move.
No, paperwork.
And it's just like, well, what the fuck are these guys looking for? Is like, what's that, 70 over not good enough for you? Am I meant to do 100?
Paul took that as a challenge. We sped up afterwards.
I would highly recommend, though, let's not just focus on individual things, but if you do get an opportunity to just do a trip with your mates, it doesn't have to be somewhere super expensive. Like Eastern Europe, the most expensive part for us here was to get here. Like we've stayed in, I'd say, middle-ish tier hotels for the most part. Sometimes a little bit less middle-ish, like this one.
But this still costs the same of some of the best places that we've stayed at.
Yeah, but because of the country. Like we're in the middle of Athens, so we're like in a crack den, and
It's great.
it's okay. But like
It's not like we're fine with it.
we're fine with it. But
It's great for partying.
yeah,
We've discovered last night.
but if you but this, I think it was like €70 for a massive apartment in Montenegro.
Yeah.
You know, like for enough to sleep 4 people and have 2 bathrooms kind of thing. It was insane.
Hidden room in the basement.
Oh yeah, that one was awesome too.
Yeah.
But yeah, get some mates. Flights was the most expensive part of this trip, and after it was pretty cheap.
Yeah. If you're in Europe especially, you can do a whole lot here. It's just so much to adventure.
You don't have to climb mountains. You can just do whatever you're passionate about. If you like rafting, kayaking, oh my God, Bosnia.
Yeah.
You could just get dropped off in Bosnia and just kayak for weeks.
If you like farming, you can come here and help out.
If you like child trafficking, you could fucking come here and do that too.
Yeah. But no, like even with you're saying you don't have to climb mountains, but you don't have to go to the summit. You can still have an incredible like short hike and see some of the most incredible scenery you've ever seen.
I would highly recommend stay on tracks. The amount of people, locals, that have told me don't leave the roads or the tracks because of landmines.
You think you saw one while doing a shit.
Well,
It's basically none. No, like one person mentioned mines.
I've had multiple.
It's such bullshit. They are so freaked out about landmines, and like they'll go off the track. They're like, I don't know if we should go in that field. I'm like, dude, it's 30 years ago. You realize how many people have hiked all over this goddamn mountain? There's nothing going on. I don't give a fuck. I will go anywhere on any of those goddamn mountains. Last fear in the world. I'm not saying that it's not a threat, and I understand landmines are put down in wars. They try and pick them up after, but there are still some left. But there's been so many foreigners, locals, sheeps, cows, foxes, hedgehogs, all over the place. Hedgehog probably wouldn't set one off, but
Would a hedgehog set one off?
Normally it's 60 kilograms of pressure.
60 kilograms of pressure. Oh, wow.
So it would have to be like a cow.
Are you under 60 kilograms?
69.
You're dead.
Yeah, but when you have a bag on as well.
That French lady going up Masala, she would have been probably
Should have been fine. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about landmines, but there's no threat.
The only landmines I saw was the one that Paul did on the ground.
Speaking of laying mines,
Yeah.
last night I went out to get the burgers.
We have discovered a very special place of Athens. Now, if you've got a group of mates, come to the Cosmopolitan. Is that what it's called?
Cosmopolitan, yes.
Yeah. And you will discover a beautiful array of experiences. One guy, you'll walk outside and he'll just be reaching down in his pants and looking for something, and then he'll sniff his fingers and then just be on some sort of a trip. Jared, what did you see?
Saw a man shitting on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And we walked back past it and saw the shit.
Yeah. Then we saw another guy psyching him, like an older gentleman, psyching himself up, ready to
Fight,
He was going to fight something. No one was there, but he was going to fight something. And then he kind of went to sleep on the spot.
Athens has it's unique. What I was saying is like, I mean, every city or like any large city is going to, have partial homeless population and also, drug users. Not just like, guys smoking weed or doing coke at a party or something, but like proper, like binged out. But it's strange here, especially like there's straight zombies all over this city. Those dudes are fucking like, I don't know. It's bizarre.
They make you feel uneasy too. Like sometimes you see crackheads and you're like, that guy's on a trip, but he's not going to do anything to me. But these ones, you're like looking over your shoulder. You're like, oh, what is, like he might run at me right now.
And the weirdest part about it is like there'll be like a kebab shop next to him.
Yeah.
And he's like a fully running kebab shop with like plenty of customers going in and
In
out.
the morning, he's spraying all the shit off his driveway.
Athens.
It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Let's get into that.
Yeah. Well, I was basically just going to say it reminds me of when I went to Rome, and it's very dirty and just oversold to the Western media. By the time you get there, there's just tons and tons of people.
So what do you guys think of the Acropolis? Let's get into that.
Let's get into that. So, as a childhood, I really enjoyed history. And I thought a lot about stuff. And the Greeks were, a very, very advanced civilization 2,000 years ago. Not anymore. And the Acropolis, something that you fantasize about as a kid, at least I did, or not fantasize, but, dream about, think about. You see like real ruins on the outside of the Acropolis, and it's just like some broken down rocks, and you can tell that maybe they were kind of in a circle or something. And you're like, okay, that does look like it's 2,000 years old. Then you look at the Acropolis, you're like, oh, they put all this shit back together. Some of this is new, some of this is old. They just put this shit together like Legos, and none of this is actually like from 2,000 years ago, and maybe a couple of rocks here there are, and it's just kind of a letdown. And then you read about it, scaffolding all over it, but you read about it and you're just like, it's not like they're trying to fool anybody. They talk about the
Refurbishment.
of it, throughout the centuries. But it's just kind of like.
But then you have to ask yourself the question: if they hadn't done anything to it, it would be just a lot more rubble and broken down, if not less to see. Mm-hmm. So that's not really something to go and look at. It would just be you'd be looking at it and going, "Oh, is that it? It's gone." So would you prefer to have them say, "We've used some of the original things to rebuild it to give you an idea of what it looked like? Or would you prefer to see a whole lot less just roped off and you'd be like, what's the point of seeing it? It's all gone. What are you talking about? That type of stuff.
I was more interested in seeing the rubble at the bottom of the hill that was not redone.
There was a spot that was, when you look down, it looked like a big seating area. There was like two. One was a full refurbished one where they really redid all the seating. And I was like, that was lame.
Yeah.
And then you look to the left of that, like a couple hundred meters, and it was
An original one by
the original looking one, and it looked cool. Like, it's like, that looks legit.
Yeah.
And to me, it was, I don't know, when I was at the top, I was like, I was more impressed by the view of the city.
Yeah, the view of the city. The Acropolis is dope.
Yeah. No, it is beautiful. But that's just a question I ask is like, what would we prefer to see?
I'd much rather go climb mountains than spend time in the city looking at that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not being disrespectful to the culture and that. Like, yeah, there's history there, but to me, it's just, it's like, wow, they did all that cool shit back then. Wow. Yeah. But like how it's kind of portrayed now is, I don't know. To me, it was just.
What would be cool is if you could climb a mountain and see some of that shit on top. That would be sweet.
Olympus is supposed to have, a place for the gods to live on top. We should go look.
That's what Aphrodite did a shit.
But I was going to say something. The Acropolis, so like Athens is pretty dope. For anybody not familiar, you'd like have, 6 million people or something?
Yeah,
it's a pretty big city. And you have some mountains around it. But like the city's sprawling, but it's all low buildings. I don't know if they have laws that prevent from building higher buildings. And there's not even a business district that we can see that has higher buildings. It's all pretty much like, 7 stories and below. And then in the middle of it, they have this big like plateau, and that's where the Acropolis is. It's got the Parthenon on it and everything else. So the fact that like the entire city is built around this one plateau, with the actual old ruins on it is super dope. When you're up there, you have like the most perfect view. And that part is really cool. I'm not trying to hate on all that. Just the ruins weren't as cool as I was hoping. I think I'm just old and jaded.
I think when you've just got so many people and you can tell that's just been turned into a tourist attraction, which it is, and it's not like a surprise to me that it was, but it every time you go there, you just like this lose
10,000 people a day going through there at €20 each. They're making, what's that?
a lot of money. But it
200,000 euro a day they're pulling through that.
It loses a lot of the, like when we're on top of a mountain and there's kind of like, it's just you and the mountain, you get to enjoy all of it.
Which is kind of why, like, I think I get so attracted towards climbing mountains.
Because you actually you don't feel like you have to rush. There's more people behind me. There's just people everywhere.
How much more culture did you feel like going to Radomir and talking to the locals and them talking about how they go out work seasonally and come back and they're spending time with their families there and I don't know, you see them eating their fucking weird shit and
jam and ham sandwiches.
It was good. Jam, ham, and cheese sandwiches.
Those were delicious.
But like I find going to those more remote places, climbing those mountains, talking to travelers and locals.
I still think it's something that you do once in your life. Like I've seen the Colosseum in Rome and done all that.
I thought that was you.
The Colosseum's here. And then now I've done the Parthenon and done the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I feel like you still need to kind of do that to tick it off, but it's a different experience to kind of enjoy. I don't feel like it's a real cultural experience, more of a tourist.
Okay, I'll put it this way. Would you rather go to places like another place similar to Paga or be in the city?
Paga every time.
Yeah, that's me. Like I like Paga was like this like picturesque, beautiful little town on the side of a hill.
No police. That was great.
Yeah.
But it was just like, to me, that's more exciting. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I'm a bit over being around big cities.
Yeah. Anywhere where you can go on a little adventure like we did in Paga. That was so, to me, that's one of my favorite moments was swimming to that island and exploring it. It was first early in the trip, but I was like, this is an adventure. This is fun.
It was good.
And it hurt less than mountains.
No, it didn't.
I feel like Decky's got
Hurt so much more.
Well, it's because you've got bitch feet.
Yeah.
We call them beat.
You could have brought your slippers or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't anticipate the spiky rocks on.
Yeah, it wasn't spiky rocks, dude.
That was just the ground, bro.
I didn't do much thinking.
You did a lot of yelling, though.
Paga would be the first video of the trip, which should definitely be out by the time this video
Yes, it should be.
is playing. So if we don't know what we're talking about, you can go back and watch it.
No, Paga's an incredible place. Gave us some prejudices of Albania, though. Paga did.
Yeah, there's a woman called Alona.
Luan. I've changed it back now. I know, but he's been saying Luan so much, I've kind of just...
And she's from was it Latvia? Lithuania. Tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
A racist bitch.
She fucking hated Albanian people.
Thought she was lovely.
I think she was amazing. She even helped us get the retrieval of our phone
Yeah, that Michael left behind.
that we left behind.
Listen, we all have prejudices.
Tell us some of yours, Jared. What are your favourite prejudices that you have?
STF tier list?
One of the most surprising and coolest things about this whole trip, Jared's come out of his shell.
Yeah, I've told him that from the first time he did questions. When you guys watch the first questions, you'll just see straight away from the Indonesian video and the marathon video, it's a completely different person. Yeah, he's definitely been himself a lot more. Isn't that right, Jared?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Maybe it's Ricky. Maybe this whole time it's just been Ricky
It was before Ricky, unless Ricky was like,
coming out of his shell.
yeah, maybe Ricky was already in there.
Yeah.
Ricky's been in me for a long time.
Wow, there's a song.
Actually, a funny story about Ricky. The reason I called it Ricky is because me and my friends in university, we used to joke that there was like a schizophrenic being behind us at all times. So like anytime like, you know when like a door swings shut in the wind, you're like, Ricky, shut the fuck up, or something like that. We'd always call him Ricky. Yeah. Or like you're hearing voices, normal stuff. You call him Ricky. Yeah. So that's why I mentioned Ricky right away. Huh. He's a small being that's been with me for a long time.
He's your imaginary friend. Yeah. But now he's not imaginary anymore.
I wouldn't say he's a friend.
Yeah. He can be very forceful sometimes. We used to do the same thing growing up in our Christian circles. Whenever there would be a door closed, we'd be like, oh, it's Jesus. We'd get very excited.
Yeah, except Ricky's a little different than Jesus.
So yeah, Ricky.
So do we have much more else to talk about?
We can find topics and babble for another 15 minutes if you'd like.
Yes.
I say let's all take off our shirts and pants.
Where the mic's going to go?
Well, this is a bit weird. Michael, stop it. Put your pants back on, Michael.
Come on, pest!
I'm getting naked with dudes.
What have we been doing this entire trip?
Yeah, that's not what you said last night.
So this is what the trip's been like.
Yeah, this is what it's been like.
It's kind of cool.
Anytime I get an opportunity.
I got the blanket on my legs. It's cold in here.
So anytime we get into a hotel room, like the timer starts, and within 30 seconds, Michael has his pants off.
Yeah.
He's got an extremely hot engine, and he thinks the best way to cool himself down is to take his pants off.
I mean, that's where the heat comes from.
Yeah, those loins.
See, you guys were too afraid to take off your pants, but that's okay.
I'm cold.
I'm feeling good. This is a great temperature right now. And look, it's on my chest hair.
That's really nice. I don't have enough chest hair.
My wife is a big fan of the chest hair.
Really?
Yeah. No, I got it waxed recently and she was like, I'm not touching you.
It goes both ways. I've heard girls really like chest hair and then shy away from it.
Yeah, I go both ways.
I'm glad that she appreciates you for what you are, because you're a beast.
I am.
You are such a man, Michael.
I am such a man.
From your exterior appearance, with the bandana, with the biker glasses,
I look like the meanest asshole ever.
And then your internal personality is the most flamboyant, caring,
lovable, most people would say.
Yeah, person. So
What's the word where it's like, you're doing great.
Condescending.
condescending, patronizing.
I know how to be sassy, I think the term is.
What are you guys looking forward to most when we get home?
Putting my pants back on. Actually, no, probably taking my pants off.
Besides, obviously, family. Because that's, like, obvious. Like, everyone's going to say their partner or their kids.
No, I've got some great plans with the kids planned. So,
What do you got planned?
my son and I are going to be finishing off a book series called the Amulet series. My daughter's going to be doing my nails. Yeah, she'll get paid for that. I do wrestling with the kids where we set up the lounge room with all the pillows and stuff down, and we do like WWE wrestling.
And now you've had some good wrestling practice.
I have, but I can't be as harsh on them as I am with you because of Ricky. We're going to go see the Mario movie. We're going to probably go to a couple of days in the city, maybe, or go do a tree climbing thing.
A lot of shit planned.
I'm going home.
I'm
ready to go home
you're going to bloody Vietnam for 10 days.
Yeah.
Because, I've traveled enough.
Yeah, I got to make the most of it.
Can you go climb the highest peak and find out if it's
I'm going to try.
decent?
Yeah.
Bring lady.
What is the highest peak in Vietnam?
Phong Tu.
Did you just say it's what?
I said Phong Tu.
Yes. Did you just say random words that sounded?
Yeah, I think.
They're Vietnam words, Vietnamese words.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Mount Pho.
You're very. Is it 100% or is it not?
Like 78%.
78%. The same percent of like when you first saw Olympus, but then changed it to. No, that's that one. That is 100% Olympus. Wait a minute. It's that one.
Yes. Let's go with that.
Pesta's very sure of things. He's just very sure of everything he says. Sometimes it may not be sure, but
I'm sure.
No, I'm just glad that you've got the best optimism of the group.
he does.
Yeah.
And he sells it.
Yeah. And without it, we wouldn't be doing half the shit we do.
You guys are just...
Not optimistic.
Decky will do anything. I honestly think if I was like, Decky, let's jump off this building together. We'll fucking make it. He'd be like, yeah. Michael would be like, eh.
Until I get to the edge, and I'd be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah. Decky is also, or like always upping the ante with whatever we're doing.
Look at Jared's body. Look how defined.
Dude, it really is. It's so fucking goddamn gorgeous. I hope he mounts me.
Also, by the way, when I get back, I got my daughter's first birthday.
You do.
Big.
And I'm going to the Starlight dinner.
Yes, you are.
Ooh.
Without you, Michael.
I am aware. I'm very happy to stay home. And then we should be having a podcast with the CEO of Starlight, hopefully.
Oh, you can't just say that, because now if I don't do it, we're fucked.
No, that's not happening, guys.
No, sorry, guys. We are attempting to.
I'm pretty sure I'll have it happen, but...
Yes. And then when we find that out, I'm going to take a week off. It'll be lovely.
But yeah, so that's probably the two major things I've got coming up. Can do a lot of gaming, a lot more Tarkov. I missed it.
Going to New York City like 3 days after I get back. Very excited for that. I love New York. Speaking of big cities, New York's great.
What are you doing there? Why are you going?
Spending way too much money.
Yeah, definitely spending way too much money. But no, there's a concert Tony wants to go to.
Cool. What's a concert?
Some French girl. Angel.
Tattoo?
Or Angel. I don't know. So we're going to go do that. But I love New York's great. So I'm very thrilled about that. But other than that, I'm really excited about seeing the dogs. Really, really excited about seeing those guys.
I see you light up every time.
I want to smell their little patitas. It smells like Cheetos.
Their paws smell like
Cheetos.
Cheetos? Why do their paws smell like Cheetos?
The same thing. People talk about Frito feet. It's the same thing. I just say Cheeto. It's Cheeto in Spanish, not Cheeto. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's something about the germs or the fungus that grows on their little paws that has that smell of
You are
chip.
very connected to your dogs in a disturbing way, but I love it.
Also the breath.
I feel like I should be doing more with my time back home. You're going to Vietnam, he's going to New York, he's got 40 plans. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm going to play video games, I'm going to see my daughter, my wife.
Keeping it simple. That's good too.
My youngest daughter's now sitting up, which is great. She's starting to say, Dad, doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Wow.
Yours is almost walking.
We don't talk about my daughter.
Oh, all right. We don't talk about your daughter. She's not almost walking. He doesn't have a daughter. But no, very exciting.
So what do you guys think of those hells? I really got to pee.
I really gotta pee too, dude.
So should we finish this here then?
Well, we got to do the BPBs.
Well, we'll do the BPBs, but we'll take off our underwear.
Oh yeah.
Let's get fully naked
so,
for the BP.
Guys, thanks for watching. I know this is a bit of a shorter, disorganized one. Hopefully the nipples...
Much more organised than the previous one.
But yeah, next week's podcast will be the last one of us together in the Europe, and then we go home. I've got something planned for that one that should be fun. But then, so then you'll probably get a couple, maybe 2 podcasts, 3 of other stuff, real guests and that we've filmed back home. And then you'll get the next trip of Europe. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
And the next trip's going to be fucking wild.
It will actually be pretty wild. We've got a lot planned.
I'm disturbed that your microphone's been facing down for a while there, Jared.
Yeah, but we'll pick it up.
We'll pick it up. If not, you can pick it up off Paul's microphone. I'm talking quite loud.
The editor sent me a message the other day just saying editing these podcasts in Europe are really difficult with the microphones. Sorry, Nava.
So yeah, Guys, thanks so much for watching. Michael, sit the fuck down.
I'm about to turn it off.
I haven't finished talking. We've got the BPBs and that. So if you guys want to support the podcast and all the other content we've been doing, you can support us on the Patreon, where we do an extended edition of the podcast. I don't know what we're going to talk about this week. Jared's jacking off my foot.
I was wondering why it was so meaty.
I'm very...
But yeah, so if you want to support us, Patreon's the best way of doing it. Also commenting and liking and sharing with friends. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right, let's wrestle.